Alright, here we are at mile 85 of the Rod Venture to Tennessee. Things are going well, car's holding together so far, and things in my head are adjusting. So yeah, much better. I'm going to try to keep making these videos and just sharing my thoughts. Got a long way to go, and I'm a pretty focused guy, but realized that I do just have a lot of thoughts I should share. You know, a lot of people struggle with a lot of mental health issues, and the person that's pulled the strings the most in my life has a lot of uncontrolled issues that she lashes out with. Hurts. Part of my hurt. Anywho, I've developed a lot of tactics to help control that. A lot of mindfulness, which is something I learned the most in my last therapy session. I already practiced this a lot, I just didn't put a definition on it, as I typically have about 10 different things going on in my head at once, but I'm somehow able to focus. But that being said, it's not easy, and I'd like to share a lot more. Just not entirely sure how to deliver it, but it helps. We were just in a conversation about addiction, my ex and I, and I was on opiates up until just yesterday, really, day before yesterday. I took myself off, even though I genuinely needed them for recovery on my arm. I just said, fuck it, I gotta go back to work. And she had developed quite an addiction to them. She would start stealing them and begging for them and demanding for them, and then just it was a hassle. She took more than I did, and we were talking about it, and I was just describing some of the feelings I had and why I jumped off of them, and she was telling me, wow, you're able to do that? I'm like, what do you mean? And she says, well, a lot of people just don't recognize that and do it. Like, you had that dope sick feeling, and you're like, nope, I gotta get over it now. And especially since I don't even know where my next amount of pills will come from, I can't depend on them, and I don't use them for that reason. And when I start climbing in the need, where I feel like, no, I'm just sitting here, I can mentally manage this, it's fine, I need to save them for when I've got to work, or when it's just too much. And whereas she wanted them all the time, but just for the high or addiction, whatever. She happens to have an addiction to benzos, but that's a whole nother thing. But it's part of her addictive mentality that we talked about, and I was like, well, it's a mindfulness tactic. I have experience with that, with quitting drinking, and that reminded her, yeah, shit, you have been sober, 4 years now? I'm like, yeah, but that's a lot of tactics that I've had to build and put in place and manage and struggle, and it's not always that easy. And so some of my hardest times are coming since I quit drinking. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I'm pulling up now, and I know alcohol would just be a factor that would tear me back down. I can't let it be a factor. And I promised my daughter never again. And really, that's the easiest way to keep the promise, is you just make that promise and be serious about it. It's part of a code. So I want to share a lot more thoughts on other things, my primary focuses and goals, and what drives me to survive, even when my mind really just wants to shut off. I'd love to get into that a lot more, the mindfulness in relation to suicide and other thoughts, things you don't think you can come back from, things you haven't been able to process. So, until next time, I don't know if this is an interesting video at all, but there'll be more. Thanks.